So you want to record a podcast, but without having someone in a studio with you in the style of Joe Rogan or Stephen Bartlett. Maybe you want to record a podcast with someone who's on the other side of the world. You can't fly them in to be with you in person. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it without using Zoom, where the quality can be a little bit sketchy. But first of all, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, then my name's Simon, and I run a business managing podcasts for other people who don't have time to do it or don't know how to do it. Right now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you two different ways that you can achieve this. The first way has a monthly fee. The second way is completely free of charge, and in some ways is actually better than option number one. But let's jump into option number one, and that involves something called Riverside. Now, you may have done recordings on Zoom beforehand, and you found that the quality isn't very good. And the reason for this is because it's capturing the audio while it's streaming over the internet. And we all know that sometimes internet connections can go a little bit flaky, which means the quality of what you're hearing sounds a little bit sketchy. Now, that is different with Riverside. This is not a sponsored video, by the way, but the way that Riverside works is that it records the audio to each person's laptop or desktop computer, which then uploads the audio file to Riverside, which allows somebody else to then download it to edit it together, which means that the quality of it is perfect. It's not dependent on a good quality internet connection. Now, in Riverside, you're able to create different studios, so you can have a different studio for each of your podcast guests, and you've also got the option to switch on the ability to record video as well as recording the audio. Now, Riverside is a great system to use. Mark Zuckerberg has used it. Bill Gates has used it. The company is a newish company, but they're developing a lot and they're investing a lot of money into making the whole experience better and better. Now, the second option might sound like a bit of a hack, but it's great if you don't want to pay a monthly fee at all. And I mentioned that in some ways it can actually be better. All that you do is have a phone conversation with the guest who's going to be on your podcast episode. It needs to be on a landline because what you're going to be doing is using your mobile phone and their mobile phone to record each person's audio. All that you do is go into the Voice Memos app or the Voice Recorder app on an Android and make sure that you and your guest both hold your phone upside down because that's where the microphones are. You can both have a conversation on the landline and record each person's audio on your phone. Then if the guest emails across to you their voice recording, then you can edit those two tracks together and the sound quality will be excellent. Now, the reason that I know this works is because I've done recordings beforehand on Riverside where Riverside has worked just fine, the internet connection is just fine, but the quality of somebody's microphone on their laptop is really, really poor. So even though I've recorded the whole thing on Riverside, as a backup, I've asked them just to hold their phone like that and to record their audio into their phone. Then I asked them to send me their audio track, and when I compare that to the recording that's been captured on Riverside, more often than not, the quality on the phone is much, much better. Nothing at all to do with Riverside, just purely the fact that the microphone on their laptop is not very good, but the microphones on these smartphones tends to be much, much better. So there you are, two different ways that you can record a podcast episode without having somebody in a studio with you in the style of Joe Rogan or Stephen Bartlett. Now, before you go, I've got a big favor to ask you. This is a brand new YouTube channel, which means I really need you to smash that like button before you go. Even if you don't subscribe to the channel, click on that thumbs up. It's free of charge, it doesn't cost you anything at all, but it will help me more than you know it. Thanks very much for watching this video. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.